Yo, what is up guys? It's me.
I don't care.
The Boston Celtics are a rare team. A team that was able to land the first seed in their conference and will still be able to get a lottery pick thanks to the Brooklyn Nets. And a huge topic of discussion this year was, what will they do with this pick? Would they trade it for a Jimmy Butler or for a Paul George, or hold on to it since this is supposed to be one of the best drafts in recent NBA history? Well, as we can all see, the Celtics chose not to trade the draft pick. Yet at least. As it stands, they will most likely have a top 3-ish pick in the draft. And for Celtics fans and for the organization, that sounds great. But a report came out yesterday claiming that the agents of this year's top draft prospects are telling their clients, meaning Lonzo Ball, Markelle Fultz, and De'Aaron Fox, not to work out for the Celtics. And this is nothing personal against Boston, and to any Celtics fans watching this video, if it makes you feel any better, they also said they don't want their clients working out for Sacramento either, which I can imagine is extremely personal. It's just being drafted by a team like the Celtics, where they are in more of a win now mode, wouldn't be the best thing for a rookie. I mean, just look at Jaylen Brown. He was drafted last year and got some decent minutes during the season, but it'll be a far stretch to say he was an integral part of that team, which could stunt his development compared to if he was drafted by a team that would allow him to have more freedom and room to grow. So agents are just trying to look out for their clients' best interest as well as their personal bank accounts, because as you could probably guess, players not playing as much provides the agents with less ability to land endorsement deals and stuff like that, which in the end affects their bottom line and their reputation as an agent as well. Now, not having players be allowed to work out for you, especially when you're most likely gonna have a top 3 pick in the draft, isn't the end of the world. I mean, in a talented draft like this, it will be pretty hard to select a bad player in their situation, since no matter who you will pick, it'll most likely turn out to be a good player. And I know some people are already gonna be like, see, I told you, they should have traded the pick. But just think about it for a second. This could possibly give the Celtics even more reason to trade the pick. I mean, if I was Danny Ainge this summer, I would have one of 2 options: trade the pick or trade Isaiah Thomas. And if those are my options, then that pick has to go. Look, we all know the Celtics are just another scorer and a rebounder away from becoming legit title contenders. And that pick will easily be able to get you at least one of those 2 things. And now that apparently the top prospects are being told not to work out for you, I mean, come on, what other option do you have now? Trade the pick. In fun fact of the day news, despite being criticized for resting during the regular season, LeBron James is on pace to break another NBA, actually not on pace, he's going to break another NBA record, as he is only 4 minutes away from becoming the youngest player to ever reach 50,000 career minutes, which will surpass Kobe Bryant, as he was 33 when he reached this milestone. And yeah, being drafted out of high school definitely helps the cause, and he's gonna pass Kobe because even though he rests, LeBron has never actually had to miss significant time with an injury, which is pretty remarkable. To play in as many games at the level he plays at, the fact that he has never suffered a real injury almost seems like a miracle. Finally, it is about time. The San Antonio Spurs will finally get their matchup with the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs. And it didn't happen in 2015 or 2016, but it's happening now. And it's a matchup that could bring some much needed excitement to the playoffs, as it'll be the first time so far the 2 championship caliber teams square off. Look, we barely even got to see these 2 teams face during the regular season. I mean, the Spurs did win 2 of the regular season matchups, but the first was on day 1 of the regular season when the Spurs blew out the Warriors and caused some NBA fans to completely lose their minds for no apparent reason. And this Warriors team clearly has gotten better since then. Then the second was the game when just about every player sat out for both teams, you know, the most boring game in the NBA this season, and the Spurs won that one. And then the last game was played during the final days of the regular season, and the Warriors won. So we don't have much to go off of in terms of what to expect strategy-wise from either team. Well, maybe we do know what to expect from the Spurs, as Popovich was asked yesterday at the Spurs practice what his strategy would be for trying to beat the Warriors, and he said it's simply to pray.
What's the basic defensive approach to that sort of 4-headed monster that Golden State presents?
Did you ask me what the key was, or what?
No, what the basic approach is?
Pray.
No, that's a classic Popovich response. But you know, he's not entirely wrong, and I know that's not his real response either. He knows what he's gonna do, but he doesn't tell the media this type of stuff. And then Manu Ginobili basically said it will be like playing a better version of the Houston Rockets.
The game the other night, a good template for how to defend them?
I mean, Houston is a team that prepares you for that type of game. Of course, these have more talent, more shooters, more ball handlers. So you gotta do an even better job. And they're much better defensively too. So, you know, it is tougher. But, you know, the further you go, the tougher you get. And we gotta be as solid as we can.
Which is also true. I mean, both teams rely heavily on the outside shot. They like to get on in transition and run. But the Warriors, of course, have more weapons and are definitely a better defensive team. But if anyone in the West is capable of putting up a fight, it will be the San Antonio Spurs, as the pieces are there. They're more than just well coached. They have the best coach in NBA history in my mind. They play great team defense, and they have the 2 times reigning defensive player of the year in Kawhi Leonard. And on top of that, they have talented big men, which is well known to be the weakness of these Warriors. And if Aldridge can play at a level even close to the one he played in Game 6 against Houston, then that will be huge. All that being said though, Vegas still gave the Warriors, I believe it was an 81% chance of winning this series, which I think might be a bit too high, but they still do have a better chance of winning the series. Even so, that doesn't mean Kevin Durant is taking the Spurs lightly, as he said that he wasn't surprised that the Spurs beat the Rockets, even though he was surprised at how badly the Rockets played in Game 6, and then in order to beat them, they will have to be on point.
I wasn't surprised, because they're a machine. You know, they just keep going at you, no matter who's on the court. They run their system. Similar to us, I feel like, you know, where guy goes down, somebody steps in. And it's not mainly because, you know, they just gave Jonathan Simmons the ball and said, hey, go score for us. They ran a perfect offense against that defense, and Coach Pop put them in great positions to be successful and to use their strength. So I wasn't surprised that they won the series, but I was kind of surprised how the last game ended, or how the last game went. But that's just the Spurs, man. They just, you know, that's why they got the utmost respect, because no matter who's on the court, they just keep coming at you. They're world coach, they're a machine, like I said earlier. They just keep doing the same stuff over and over until they find a weakness and they exploit it. And we got to be on point.
A bit obvious, but still correct from Kevin Durant. I mean, you can't bring anything but your best against the Spurs and expect to win. I mean, this is the playoffs. You gotta be on point almost every game. Anyways though, you've heard the players' opinions. You know, Popovich saying that prayer is the answer. You know, Ginobili is saying that it's playing a better version of Rockets. And then Durant saying that it's going to be a challenge and the Warriors will have to be on point. But now I want to hear your opinion. So today's question of the day is this: what does each team need to do in order to win this series? What do the Spurs need to do, and what do the Warriors need to do? For the Warriors, to me, it's simple. Just play the same basketball you've been playing all year long. I mean, they are the heavy favorites to win for a reason. It's almost impossible to stop them on offense. They play good defense, so the key is simple. Keep playing good defense and make shots. I guess that's all it is. And then for the Spurs, well, they have a lot to do in terms of what it will take to win. Most importantly to me though is getting LaMarcus Aldridge involved. You're gonna need the Portland version of LA in order to stand a chance. And he can't just settle for mid-range jumpers, but he has to be in there in the post. Look, no one on the Warriors should be able to stop him down there. Draymond Green is a phenomenal defender, but even the best defenders can't consistently stop the best offensive players. So that's step one. And then, yeah, they gotta contest everything, hustle and contest everything on defense. On the defensive end against the Warriors, that's all you can ask, to at least get a hand up. You can't allow yourself to take a single defensive possession off, because the Warriors are just too dangerous offensively. And lastly, just like Popovich said, you need to pray. Because even if you do all of that right, you know, get Aldridge involved, hustle on the defensive end and contest every shot, well, let's just say that there are no guarantees that that's even enough to get the win. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, but now let's take a quick look at some of your answers from yesterday's question of the day. And yesterday's question of the day was this: after Kyrie basically said that LeVar needs to let Lonzo live his life, I asked you guys what you thought about Kyrie saying that and if you thought he was right. And really, there was not a single person that disagreed with him. LeVar's dream was to be Michael Jordan, but he wasn't even drafted, so he created Lonzo in a lab to be what LeVar couldn't be. Lonzo's a great guy. Now, LeVar is just trying to keep his name in the media by making absurd statements. I hope Lonzo does really well in the league. Of course, LeVar needs to back off. Who would say otherwise? You know, apparently no one, but I do agree. I want to see Lonzo do well in the league. I would never wish a player to do bad in the league. The more good players there are in the league, the more fun the league is to watch. Like I said, leave your answers for today's question of the day down in the comment section below. And other than that, thank you once again for watching the video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on it and subscribe to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the NBA. And until tomorrow, keep getting the Bucks, Team STC, and I'm out of here. Peace.